state your name and address, please, for the record?
For the record, my name is Sandra Pelcher, and I came here to Cleves in 1980 when I married Mr. Pelcher. I tried to be brief. I thought when he was talking, maybe some volunteers could help with the fire department. I don't know if you ever tried any volunteers. The hospitals use them. That's where I retired from. But anyway, to get to the point of the reason I came here, on the corner where I live, I'm concerned that a child might get injured or killed because of people not stopping at the four-way stop. So, I would volunteer to pay some white crosswalks and some yellow corners. Whatever's appropriate.
What intersection is that, ma'am?
It's a corner of Ford and Scott, right behind Jackie's Bar. It's a block from the school crossing guard area. And with the ice cream parlor down that area.
Drawing
The school
on
gets
Fourth
let out.
Street, is
It's
that?
the corner of Ford and Scott.
So the school gets let out, it was rough up there. I didn't see that myself.
We just put up a children playing sign in that vicinity, but, just so you know, and I appreciate you coming here, because I asked you, you came and expressed your concern. I wanted our council to hear that. We have a 12-hour car in the village of Cleves, that's it, and they're not patrolling. So, but that's what we pay for, is a 12-hour car. And there's only one that's on duty, so it can't be everywhere, okay? The problem with the speeding is an issue throughout the whole village. It's an issue of running stop signs in the entire village. And I don't know unless council has a solution, I'm not sure what the solution is.
What about a sign that says, what you see kind of going through other municipalities where it says 25 miles and then you see your speed?
That's gonna be installed right here on North Miami. John probably will talk a little bit about that later, but we don't have them going throughout the whole village. And the one I think John ordered, I think it has on there, slow down. It comes up and it just tells you to slow down. That might help there, but what you're talking about, I don't know what the answer is, unless we buy more signs.
What about the stop signs that have the lights that go around it that flash the whole time?
That's gonna be there's two of those, I think, being installed. You're talking about for the crosswalks?
No, but the stop sign itself has a red
Oh,
border that
okay.
will,
You're talking where it flashes.
yeah, and it's constant, it never stops, like 24/7.
They're solar powered.
Yeah, so.
They're about $3,000 each. Their signs are $3,000.
Well, people are running stop signs, that's the problem. They're rolling through, they're not making the stop. And I can tell you from my commute drive to work on the days I gotta go to the office, people are running red lights at a massively high rate, especially on Route 50. I mean, running red lights, not yellows, and they're not stopping at stop signs. I mean, this is prevalent everywhere, not just here. And I don't know what the solution to that is. And I feel for you, I understand your concern. But it's a problem everywhere, not just here in the village of Cleves. But the fact that we have a school, I don't know how many elementary kids we have walking home, I don't know those figures. But I think it doesn't hurt for us to look into it. I know Todd isn't here tonight, he chairs our safety committee. So I think maybe that's something that they can put on their agenda to discuss, what possible solutions might help that.
I would volunteer to be a crossing guard if somebody would train me.
Well, the crossing guard might be part of the solution, just the presence of one at that intersection might cause people to stop at the stop sign.
What about speed bumps? I know that, look at various other municipalities, just like in Green Township, they've got them on some of the side streets. And I know from the fact that when I lived over on McKinley Avenue in Westwood, I worked with Henry County getting speed humps in there. Those permanent ones are more expensive, but they have the ones that have the rumble strips, or the ones that really elevate you, that are more mobile, that you put down with stakes in the blacktop.
They're rubber, yeah, they're heavy rubber, and they're staked into the asphalt, correct?
And how much do those run by chance?
I got I'll have to look in my email. I got an estimate from Forest Park. They use these a lot. So I'd have to get you that figure, an email to all you to let you know what they are. But Forest Park uses this brand, constantly. When they get a complaint of this, they put down a speed bump.
How does that affect snow removal in the winter?
It-
That was always one of our concerns in the past, when
That's,
speed bumps were brought up.
that does affect.
It really affects the plows.
Correct.
You have to really mark where the speed bumps are and remember that.
Correct.
I think it skids too, can help with that.
I don't know.
I don't know.
We have to know if our plow hit that.
Yeah, it's true.
Any other comments?
Have we talked to HCSO?
Oh, yeah, she talked directly with Sergeant Carter.
She talked to the other guy?
Well, he's the head guy, I'm not sure who the other guy is you're talking about.
There's a regional
Oh, you're talking about the
traffic enforcement guy. And this goes to show you how often I empty this. This is from June last year. Captain Stephen Minich is,
Yeah. That's his direct boss. Have we talked to him about speeding in the village? The answer to that is yes.
Any reply?
They were going to increase, presence, but they can't be everywhere. And that's true. That's not a false statement. They can't. There's no way it can happen. But has there been an increase in presence? I believe there probably has.
Why can't they be down there at that time of day?
Well,
If available.
From somewhere else. I don't know how to answer that, Jim, because the best person to answer that probably would be Sergeant Carney in a safety meeting, which is the first, Thursday of the month, is that right? And we can certainly put that on the agenda, and you're more than welcome to attend that meeting also. I think that one begins, the safety, I think begins at 6:30, doesn't it, Kevin? So our next one will be the very first Thursday of July.
if you keep it, that is July 4th.
That's July, I guess we have to do that.
Parks will be canceled if we get that one.
Nobody will show up,
Yeah, I think you probably ought to talk with Todd about getting for that. And, I'll contact him tomorrow, and I will contact you, and let you know when it is.
And he's thinking it's gonna be the second.
The second.
Yeah, the last meeting, he's thinking it's gonna be, July 11th.
So you've already changed it?
I don't know if he's confirmed that with everyone, but that was the date he's thinking of.
July 11th.
Yes.
All right, I will find out for sure if it's July 11th. Are there any other residents who want to speak during the public session?
Can I ask Cindy, you mentioned the total fire department expenditure from proposed for 24, what was that number?
For salaries, about
The total.
2.6 million, and then it was like 1.4.
So the
4
total-
million,
4 million?
yeah.
And what, 4 million?
I don't have no internet here, so I can't just,
All right, so we're looking at,
and then I have to get my other computer.
I'm sorry, Cindy.
Yeah.
I meant to sneak that in, but I,
Cindy, that's salary and benefits, that doesn't include the, and keep in mind, this is appropriated
A lot out of
funds.
general funds.
Appropriated out of the TIF fund, I believe for this year was 1.5 million. Obviously, we won't spend everything that's appropriated, but
I'm just trying to
So
see
it's
how
about
much
5.5
we're
million.
increasing from this year and next year's proposed budget. Our cost is gonna go up 63%. How much is the overall cost estimated to go up?
I don't have that number without having my stuff with me.
Okay. I mean, I don't, if you don't know that number, I don't know how you can do anything.
Well, I have it, I'm
Okay,
just hesitant to throw out a number and be wrong.
Right.
okay, fair enough.
Otherwise,
So,
Cause I did ask that, but I can't find where I wrote down what Cindy told me. I did ask what 2024 figures were for
Dale, let me give you
salaries
this.
and benefits.
If you take Jim's argument that the total percent cost of Cleves is 8%, and you look at what our 411794 from the front page means, that means this current year we look at about 5,140,000. 147,000.
Okay, so,
If you wanna use that as your benchmark, so it looks like a comparable increase from this year and next and subsequent.
so we're paying of the $330,000 increase, we're paying 160 of that?
That's what they're asking.
They're projecting a hundreds of thousands of increase per year. So, which you're saying our money goes toward is tomorrow.
You're saying from this year to next year, how much is it gonna increase? We're paying 169,000 more next year anticipated, and I don't know, their total increase is gonna be $330,000 for next year?
Our budget, this year, our budget for fire fund is $2.965,000. So it's going up tremendously. But a lot of this is paid out of the general fund, that's our profit. You know, a lot of their benefits and the health insurance is all being paid out of general fund.
I guess, my question is, if their costs are gonna increase by 330,000, and ours are gonna increase by 160 something, or
159.
159.
Ours is gonna increase 1 million. Our 3 mills is 300, I'm sorry, where are you looking at?
The new mill for Cleves is 159,400.
Right,
That is, close to 50% of the, we're paying 50% of the increase for the whole fire department.
For 1 year. I think we're talking about.
The increase is more than 300,000 for the whole fire department.
So I think what,
They're only talking about the 3 villages, Dale, I think. The 300,000 comes from the 3 villages.
Okay.
Yeah.
yeah.
So we don't know at this time what how much it's going up from 24 to 25.
Yeah, 2.96, and then what was your number?
The total
So say
fire.
3 million to, in 25, 4.3. So it's going up 1.3 million. Because we're taking a lot of the benefits, we need to start paying it out of the fire fund. Right now, we're taking it out of general
Yeah.
fund, which you all understand, and it's
We're
still in
doing
our
the
general
same
fund.
thing, yeah, we're doing the same
and
thing.
keep in mind, in January, about December, it was decided that they were gonna move to 30 full-time positions. Because it's just difficult to get part-time people.
In our contract, our union contract, we have no control, just went up, they
Okay,
just approved that.
okay, so I understand you guys' logic. How much is their total going up from 24 to 25?
1.3 million.
Which is what percentage of their overall budget this year?
It went from 3 million to 4.3.
I'm just trying to understand, even with the wage increases and benefit increases, does it agree with this increase that you're doing in 1 year?
But like, we're taking a lot of the benefits we're paying out of general fund, and we're taking that and paying out of the fire fund, starting in
If
25.
Dale's looking for that total number,
Yeah, I don't care where the money comes
It
from.
doesn't matter where the money's coming from.
It does,
It does.
here's the only reason why I say it might. If you take a look at their general fund levy, and I'm not trying to defend Miami Township here, but they haven't had an increase in 54 years. So if they go back and they ask for new money, okay, what they're gonna be doing is they're gonna be their levy is gonna be based on new valuation, which will be a significant. You know, you think about what properties were worth 54 years ago to what they are today, it's gonna be a significant increase in funds.
And if we increase that, general fund, that goes all the villages, right, Jim? The 0.46, that's not just a
Well, I
township.
do think that is
So,
correct.
I
We
mean-
pay that too.
And then you all, I mean, that would be a village
We don't pay the full amount, we pay a reduced amount. to
of the
township.
0.46.
Yeah, we don't pay that full amount.
But if we increase the general fund, you guys are still paying,
We do pay a little bit to Miami
because you guys
Township. but
vote
it's-
on that, you vote on that.
Yeah, the one, when we vote on the ones, we don't vote on your, I don't think we do vote on
General fund?
your, on your 4 point something mil. No, I don't think so. No,
So we're being punished because they haven't done anything with their general fund in 52 years.
I would say they're protecting their general fund and trying to shift away into their fire fund, which is gonna have an impact on us. Yes, that is gonna impact us, because they gotta make more money up, so they're not raising their general fund taxes. Whether it's punished or not is it's sort of in the eye of the beholder. The only flaw I see, Joe, I think I said this in an open meeting, you guys may be causing us to go into a position of disillusion. And you ought to be taking that into consideration. If you can't pass levies right now, and you're wanting more money, if for example, he charges more next year, we're gonna have to pay for the difference out of the general fund. All that's going to do is eat away at this village's ability to survive. Wamsley alone is $1 million project, am I right, John? That is gonna have to come from our general fund. Maybe Miami Township won't think this is such a good deal if they gotta start repairing all the streets in the village of Cleves.
yeah, none of our streets are in homeowners association.
So there's significant impacts, no matter how you're gonna look at it. And I'm not sure there's necessarily a good answer.
How many runs average does Miami Township make for the village of Cleves?
Linda, I said that to you.
I don't have that with me, I mean, it hasn't changed over 5 years, but
Well, it's 20% of our total numbers, wasn't it? Like,
that's what
Yeah.
Jim.
but our numbers keep going up every year.
That's what Jim said.
You said it was consistent.
Not the
consistent
numbers,
percentage.
not our, you're consistent on 20%, but I think
That's just one year.
the numbers, our runs go up every year.
There was no significant difference in 5 years.
Okay, what
Not
is,
significant.
is it 1,000? Is it 2,000?
Oh,
So-
not ours.
I think
That's what I'm talking about, just for the village of Cleves.
I don't have my computer. I don't have my
Conversation.
380. And you divide 380 runs by the amount of money that we pay Miami Township now, how much is that per run?
We have to do a lot more checking on the financial aspects of this. We can't answer those questions off the cuff.
Okay, but you understand where I'm going with
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
They're running it as a business. It is a business. So why can't they take the amount of runs that they make for us in our village, add 35% to whatever that cost is, or whatever they think is a livable increase or profit, and charge the village for that?
Well, we looked it up today and did the numbers, and if we didn't do what this, your cost would be 1.1 million because of the run volume. Isn't that what we did today?
I think we
How
just,
can that be?
20, if we're 20% of the runs and their budget is 5 million, then yes, we're 1
5
million of the cost.
Yeah, but that,
If it's based on.
what are
runs
we
only.
paying? What's the village of Cleves paying Miami Township?
Right now,
Yes.
252,000.
Okay, 252,000 divided by, what'd you say, 820?
380.
It's, the answer you're looking for is $660 per run,
Okay.
which they bill at 4,000, so.
The point is made. Why do we have to bear the brunt of Miami Township? And I understand it's a business and they have employees, they have expenses. They damn sure don't need district chiefs. They damn sure don't need marshals. They're not that big. They're not the city of Cincinnati. And it may be something in the future, but we don't want to hear that now. That's an expense that the city or the village of Cleves can't absorb. They can't absorb it. So why are we being forced to absorb this potential ridiculous cost for the size of the organization that it is right now?
The answer may be not what you want to hear, but if we don't have fire protection, we can't exist as a village at all.
I understand that. I'm
What
not saying,
is if they don't provide it, they can say, we're not, wrong on this, but it seems to me if we don't pay, they're not gonna provide. And if they don't provide, we gotta find somebody else to provide fire protection for us. Now, Jim, I know there was a point in time where they were looking at Whitewater Township. You're out there right now as their fiscal officer. Where am I missing? What am I missing?
You're not missing anything, because when the township came to the village the last time, they came really late in the election cycle. There had to be special meetings held to get the things processed and things, which is why we started early, which is why I think Cindy kind of gave the finance committee a heads up in April of, hey, this is what they're looking at.
Yeah, but there wasn't any dollar amount attached to it at that point, and quite frankly, there wasn't much discussion on it at that point.
Well,
I really believe this discussion we had tonight should have happened a long time ago. You guys knew it was coming. Maybe we should have known, but we're relatively new. And I'm still saying to you, everything is based on what can we afford.
I understand. So back to the,
And if you understand that, those percentages may not be what you want them to be. They may have to be different.
that's always open for discussion, but, you know, it's the board of trustees' final decision. But let me address the Whitewater
Okay.
thing. Mayor Myers, Mike Rahal were not happy with the timing and the request, just basically the same thing that we're hearing tonight. So Mike Rahal said to me, what do you think Whitewater would say if we wanted to contract with them? And my answer to him was, I think they would say we work too much together to take part of their district. We don't want to go there. And he said, are you sure? And I said, it's just my thought on where it might be. So he said, well, go ask your chief. I went and asked the chief, and the chief said, we depend on Miami Township, they depend on us, we're not gonna get involved in that, splitting up their district. I went to the trustees, they're our administrator, and asked, should we be looking at contracting with Cleves? At that time, we had an assistant chief who said, if we're gonna do anything, we should put a proposal together to contract with Addison, North Bend, and Cleves. We'd need to put a substation over there because the time to get from Hooven to Addison, we'd be better off having another station, which would be more cost. But at least he was willing to look at it. The trustees said, what did the chief say? The chief said he doesn't want to get involved in taking part of their district. We work too much together. And so that's what we pay our chief for. We're gonna go with him. If you wanted to ask that same question, and when I came back and told Mike, he said, that's what you said they'd say. I said, well, I told you I had a pretty good idea, but I wouldn't ask anyway because you asked me to. If you said to me tonight, hey, take off your Miami Township hat, put on your Whitewater hat, and go ask them if they're interested in contracting with us, I would do that because you asked, but I can pretty well tell you, my guess is the fire chief's answer is gonna be very close to the same thing. More than willing to ask the question, but I'm guessing that the answer is gonna be the same.
I'm just trying to make the point, that there's very few options here. And I don't disagree with what Jim's saying, we really can't absorb it. And I would venture to say, if we went right now and asked our residents, the answer would be no. I'm just throwing it out there.
Now, Kevin had the number for the current rate. The number at the new rate is 1,075, so the 383 divided by the new ask is 1,075 a run. But I say this because Whitewater just had I live in Whitewater. We just had a huge levy on the ballot. And not that I want to pay more in taxes, I don't think anybody does, but I sat there and said to myself, all right, what are the chances that I'm gonna need a paramedic? Now, I'm to the point in my life, I really don't care if my house burns down. I almost did once, and that's a very scary thing for somebody who was a fireman for a lot of years. You know, and it's different when it's your place. But if I lost everything, as long as I have my wife, my grandkids aren't there, my daughter, I'd like to have the dog out. But other than that, I really don't care if the house burns down, but if I need a paramedic, I want the best we can get. I want somebody who knows where my house is. And we have a 9.8 mil levy on that I voted for.
And it went down.
It went down resoundingly.
Yes, it did. We need to, we're gonna be here all
I'm sorry.
night tonight. We still got a police contract we need to explain. So, you're back on the floor.
All right,